Men and women cannot be friends. You have to be good looking. And with looks comes way more than friendships. If two good looking people, man and woman, are friends, they'll end up becoming more than that. If one of the group, whether a man or a woman, is unattractive looking, there will be at least the illusion of friendship, but behind their back, they will talk smack about the person. Um, you like if you're a below average looking male, even if you have the illusion of female friendships, it's not legitimate. And behind closed doors, they will talk smack about you. The thing about women is, if they're good looking, they understand that they can manipulate men. And they know that, look, all you have to do, like if you're a chick, you just have to look at a dude and you know he's like not getting any. You can just, chicks know that. They can tell. And so they will often pull the strings and kind of play on the dude's emotions to get their way and manipulate the situation so that the dude like bows down and shit and does all kinds of nice things for it. These experiences are common with men who are fucking 30s and 20s and women who are 30s and 20s. So they understand that this dude is probably a loser, and they will play on that and use it to their advantage. But once that guy has been used of his resources, the chick will avoid the guy. And this is the thing about being a simp. You got to be very careful. In fact, I would suggest that none of us play that game. That none of us simp for women just because they're attractive. In fact, it's better to avoid them, if possible, completely. And from what I've noticed, maybe you noticed it before too, women will sometimes try to stare at a guy so that he stares at her and then she can justify his alleged creepiness. Women will sometimes intentionally give you a dirty look and keep glaring at you so that you respond with another look, and then they can go back to their friends and say that this guy gave me the creep staring at me. Women do that. And even if you were to not look at them, what they'll do is they'll persist on the idea that you stared at them, because women love to play games. You can avoid suffering if you don't play these games. In fact, you'll feel a lot better if you don't have to interact with women. All of us, since we don't benefit, yet we're still expected to contribute to something we don't benefit from, you will feel a lot better if you don't have to interact with women. It's hard in domesticated countries because women pretty much work everywhere now, so just buying your food, you have to interact with them. And I think a time will come where they'll shut down self-checkouts because society expects everyone to interact with each other, because it's politically incorrect for some people not to have the desire or capacity, willing capacity rather, to avoid social interactions. They want everybody to be a people person when some people are just not made to be that way. And so for a lot of us, me and you, all of us, genetic failures, it's better to avoid women. Now, if you were good looking, it's a different story, but since I'm not, it's better to avoid them completely if all possible. Because your mental health will actually get a little bit better. I'm not saying completely, but a little bit better if you avoid them. Interactions with women that you find attractive, it's completely unnecessary. It is domesticated countries that makes it a necessity. It doesn't have to be, but it's very difficult. So everywhere you go, even the healthcare profession, women are put in healthcare, which is kind of dumb. Because not only do people judge by physical appearance, even on a subconscious level, but you cannot expect to trust female nurses or doctors or psychiatrists. Because on a subconscious level, they will be passive-aggressive and uninterested in your care. When the healthcare profession says men's mental health, what they actually mean is Chad Light or Chad's mental health, or high-tier normies' mental health. I'm using Gen Z slang, but when they say mental health, they mean good-looking guys' mental health. They don't give a rat's ass about the ugly-looking dude's mental health, and that's because in nature, when you were born looking unfit for reproduction, it's natural to subconsciously hate the individual. It's unfortunate, but that's how it is. Society will try and just fall. If you build something on a lie, that lie will eventually cause it to collapse. And with women, it is unnecessary. You should not have to interact with them. None of you. Women are pleasant as long as you are a handsome-looking guy. Women are very unpleasant or mildly unpleasant if you are not. It's not about social skills. It's not about working on your personality. I mean, women date violent men all the time. I mean, men that do all types of stuff to these women. So it's not about any of that. The only thing that matters is if you're good looking, and everything else is folly, as Friedrich Nietzsche said. So in democracy, it seems almost impossible to avoid them. It would be nice, but when a person's reminded of their lack of success in romance, this actually can increase the risk of psychological, induced mental illness. And when that happens, some of these people will end up committing crimes. And criminal activity benefits the system. It's not about crime prevention. It's about increasing the risk of criminal behavior. Because without it, the prison systems lose money. And all they have to do is play on human tendencies. And so when you force a bunch of ugly looking, that's all that matters, men into an unnatural system where they are forced and expected to play a game, society's game, when society cannot possibly, it's a violation of their own nature. They cannot possibly give a shit. You're going to have mental health issues. And this cannot be fixed through counseling because counselors are con artists. That helps the police, the courts, man-made laws. It helps them make money. It doesn't help you. Psychiatry and counseling is a punishment. It has nothing to do with mental health. It helps the court systems, and it's an easy scapegoat. They have the unnatural authority and ability to scapegoat you and blame your problems on you. Because in a politically correct society, the truth is a cancer and a danger. The truth is dangerous, but deception helps make money. And so probation officers, man-made police officers, court systems, psychiatrists, doctors, counselors, they're all con artists. And they cannot, it's a violation of the natural law, they cannot care about you because nature influences their subconscious reaction. So most things that help the government are bad for you. And in my estimation, I think it's better to call out the government and political correctness and liberalism and expose it instead of believing that it's about good character. And once you know the truth and understand the truth based on scientific objectivity, what's repeatable and observable, you can no longer go back into the delusional state of believing in a Disney land fairy tale where good character, good personality matter way more, because it's nonsense. And since we have passed fourth wave feminism, women have their own money. They don't need a dude with money. Even if they... And here's the thing. If the dude doesn't have a job, if he is good looking, he will qualify for at least a one-night stand. She may not get in a relationship with him, though there are examples to the rule. There was a good-looking homeless dude, and women were swooning after the dude. So, not in its entirety, but if you don't have a job, she may go for you for a one-night stand. But looks still contribute to this. Looks, not your clothing style, not how you dress, but the bones of your face and how they're set up. So that will initiate a one-night stand. Now, if you're a good-looking dude and you have a job, she may consider getting in a relationship with you. But if it's a one-night stand, you still have to be good-looking, or at least average. And if it's if you have a job, then she may date you or marry you. But the point is, whether it's a single, romantic experience or lifelong, you still have to be good-looking or at least average. And average is not the same as ugly. Below average, someone may look normal, but they're not attractive. And then average is, there's some subjectivity with the average male. So some women will say yeah, and other women will say no. Even with above average people. But when you're below average, I would say in general, you're below average to every single woman on the planet, in the world. Because looks are, I'd say 99% objective. There's a small subjectivity in it. An ugly dude in general will be ugly regardless of his location. And so, to end with this video, it's best for all of us to avoid women and not interact with them, so that the control system can, so they can't any longer benefit off of our mental decline. Because I'm not concerned about what benefits them, what helps them make money. I am concerned about the truth. And it is the truth that will save us by destroying, not now, but someday, the control system. Truth is power, and with that power comes the destruction, the eventual destruction of the unnatural system. And liberalism will only further that process. Liberalism is a lie, and that lie will one day, someday, destroy itself. I call society Babylon. To me, that's what it is. It's just Babylon. And when Babylon falls, the more the merrier.